Separate data on Monday showed new home prices in China fell in June at their fastest pace in 9 years. Well, joining us now is Marc, Chief Economist and Global Strategist at ADM Investor Services International. Great to have you here in the studio with us. Now let's talk about those GDP figures. Hitting its target for the first half of the year, but growth slowed in the second quarter, falling short of expectations. Where's that drag coming from?
The biggest drag, I mean, the industrial production was good, but when one looks at monthly data, you had a lot of weakness in retail sales, and it is that private consumption space which is very weak, noticeable in the retail sales numbers, that basically a lot of spending is going on non-discretionary items, so food, gasoline, but other things like auto sales down 6.6%, luxury goods are not selling well, so that there is clearly a lack of confidence at the consumer level. So
consumers still really feeling that pinch. And look, China's been rolling out a slew of reforms. What do you think is left in the toolkit?
I think basically what really needs to be addressed now is the weakness in the economy is also seeing wages fall and quite high youth unemployment. And something needs to be done there with taxes and incentives for people to hire the younger generation coming out of universities to try and build up that confidence again that there are jobs out there in the economy at the moment. Even people who have jobs feel like they're under quite a lot of pressure.
You haven't mentioned the property sector.
Well, yes, and the property sector remains work in progress. Until you actually see an improvement in wages, to my way of thinking, you're actually not going to have a lot of people wanting to join the property market simply because they're going to feel that it's too uncertain an environment to basically be indulging in that, particularly given a long run of bad news with respect to the property sector.
But there is a big focus on the big economic policy meeting taking place in China all week. I mean, what announcements can we expect that might stoke growth?
There's certainly going to be a definite focus, continued focus on the high-tech sector, on improving productivity above all. I still think that there probably will be something in the way of some tax reforms. For some people, they may appear rather minor, but if it does give that encouragement to employ people, and I think also there will be a lot of emphasis on the headwinds which are coming from abroad, above all the policies which are being pursued in both the EU and the US, and that's creating headwinds for exports, even though exports are still actually performing pretty well.
So there's always a bit of green shoot out there. Marc, Ostwald, pleasure seeing you. Thanks very much.